volta di già. Ora vediamo Capcom che cosa dice, però... Non è... Ah, ok, ok, è partito, è partito, mi stavo preoccupando. Vediamo un po'. Comunque mi fa piacere che le segui qui le conferenze, mi fa piacere. Vediamo un po' come va.
Welcome to the Capcom E3 Showcase. I'm your host, Rachel Querico, aka Seltzer, and I'll be your guide as we walk through the latest releases, news, and updates from Capcom. We'll hear from the Resident Evil Village team, share some news from the world of Monster Hunter, and get the latest on Ace Attorney. Then we'll wrap up with some updates from our friends at Capcom Fighters. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started. Our first stop today, Resident Evil Village. The Resident Evil franchise continues to pioneer the latest and greatest in survival horror. The team has been blown away by the response to Resident Evil Village, which launched last month. It brought the world another chapter in this decades-long story as the franchise celebrates its 25th anniversary this year. I'm honored to be able to introduce Tsuyoshi Kanda, producer on Resident Evil
Purtroppo è stato un
Village,
po'...
with a special message for the fans.
L'E3 è stato un pochettino fiacco quest'anno, però ad esempio Xbox è stata molto buona. Immagino, forse faranno vedere qualche DLC per Resident Evil Village.
Where's Rose? She's everything to me.
I think it's time you left things in my hands. Go on, rest now.
Mi ispira davvero tantissimo Resident Evil Village.
Hi everyone, my name is Tsuyoshi Kanda, producer on Resident Evil Village.
Mi dà proprio tante vibe di Resident Evil 4, che penso comunque fosse quello l'intento. E a me era piaciuto un sacco Resident Evil 4.
We hope you're enjoying this new chapter in survival horror. As a reminder, everyone who purchases Resident Evil Village will gain free access to our online multiplayer title, Resident Evil Reverse, where players go head to head with their favorite Resident Evil heroes and bioweapons. I'm now happy to announce that Resident Evil Reverse will go live next month across all supported platforms. So head into the fray to celebrate Resident Evil 25th anniversary.
Esce il prossimo mese, se hai Village. Francamente non me ne frega niente, però. Siccome stanno richiesto molti, stanno facendo DLC per Village. Ok.
Next up, some long-awaited news from the world of Monster Hunter. Whether it's adventuring alongside monsters or battling them with friends, we've got something for you. First, let's dive into the brand new story-based RPG and
Monster Hunter Stories 2. È carino,
Monster Hunter
Stories.
Stories 2, Wings of Ruin.
Sì, mi pare che è esclusiva Switch.
This was his fate. Red may have been strong and skilled, but against the awesome power of nature, he was merely a man. He never stood a chance.
All around, things just kept getting worse. But I heard that Guardian Ratha had survived and returned to Hekolu Island. I went there to see Red's old monster again. Then, of course, that's when I met you.
You were given Red's kinship stone and now a Rathalos egg. This is destiny.
Che parte con un Rathalos.
This is the legendary monster, Reazione Ratha, the monster with the wings of ruin.
It's said that a beat of its wings can bring about waves of destruction.
Many people believe there's a connection between the strange happenings and the wings of ruin. The pits are appearing everywhere.
Carino, carino.
And they're emitting a strange light.
Sì, è un JRPG a turni. Il primo era uscito su Switch, c'è pure su mobile. E su Switch, su 3DS.
What's this whole idea of forming kinship with monsters? How do you control them?
It's not about control. Monsters help riders of their own will. And the bonds between monsters and riders are just like your bond with Tsukino.
What kind of power does Ratha really have? Why are all of these pits appearing? And who are those people who want to take Ratha for themselves? All I have are questions.
If there's worry or doubt in your voice, Ratha will become anxious too. He needs to know that you will protect him no matter what.
I can sense the flames of his life force weakening. The burden of such great power is too much for his body to bear.
Oh mio Dio, ho appena capito che mi sa che il protagonista è muto. Solito protagonista muto giapponese per i JRPG. Che palle.
Can you hear it?
Palle, non un po' rotto le scatole con sta cosa i giapponesi ora.
Surely you can groove with fellow humans.
They have the power of kinship. They're friends. They're monsties. Humans carry the strength of everyone they meet. That makes them strong. My friends here taught me that. I believe in the strength of humanity.
Vabbè, dai. Un classico JRPG però con i mostri di Monster Hunter. Un po' un JRPG a turni. Ah, carino. Ah, free title updates pure. Ah, la roba di Rise. Ah, ok. C'è la demo il 25 giugno. Gli amiibo, va bene. Ah, carino, carino. Dove lui?
Looks pretty epic, right? And how about that announcement? The canine companion Palamute from Monster Hunter Rise will be joining Monster Hunter Stories 2 as one of the new monsties in the first free title update coming soon after the game's release. You can get an early peek at the game with the Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin trial version starting on June 25th, which also carries your progress over to the full game release just a few
Ah sì,
weeks
se
later
giocate
on
alla
July 9th.
demo, i progressi che avete fatto nella demo li potete portare nel gioco.
Millions of you made Monster Hunter Rise a
finale.
huge success earlier this year.
Sarà
And we have
Rise.
even more content coming, including a new collaboration on the Rise. Let's find out more.
Collaborazione per Monster Hunter Rise, che è fighissimo.
Let's go!
Maledizione, vorrei avere una Switch, maledizione.
Rathalos is no run to
Moon's blessing emerge.
get ready.
I have
Ah,
a
ok,
good
il
feeling.
costumino per il palico.
Moon's blessing emerge.
L'armatura del protagonista. Che cazzate. Vabbè, collaborazione tra i due titoli. Ci sta, ci sta. Allora, questo. So belli. Questa roba. Vabbè, a me sembra comunque tutta roba assolutamente sia gratis che a pagamento, tutta roba... come si dice? Tutte skin, diciamo. A parte magari gli aggiornamenti in cui ci sono le quest nuove, i mostri nuovi e comunque sono per tutti.
There has never been a better time to be a Monster Hunter fan. With all the new updates to Monster Hunter Rise and the launch of Monster Hunter Stories 2 this summer. We can't wait to hear about your own stories of adventure. Well, that's not the only thing Capcom has in store for us this July. Fans of Phoenix Wright will have new chapters to explore with the release of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. North American and European future attorneys will finally be able to get their hands on the Great Ace Attorney Adventures and the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, which were previously only available in Japan.
Lo so,
You'll
non
travel
era
back
mai
in
uscito
time to the
fuori dal
late
Giappone.
19th century Japan and London to play as Ryunosuke Naruhodo, Phoenix Wright's ancestor, in this action-packed prequel.
Ora si spera
Now, let's
magari
hear
che
more about the
uscirà
story.
anche...
So then, let us unravel this mystery.
Che uscirà anche quella esclusiva per 3DS, gli altri Phoenix Wright.
Welcome to the center of the world. Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
This country is incredible. I will become a lawyer. I have to.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this coup.
C'è Sherlock Holmes. Anzi, no, scusa, non è Sherlock Holmes.
You must have heard of me.
We must solve
Non
this
può
case
essere
now,
Sherlock
Goddess.
Holmes.
Let us engage in the art of
È
deduction.
Sholmes.
No.
È Sherlock Holmes.
Well,
Che se no gli rompono le palle. Geniale.
it would seem the truth.
Come era successo
is now
con...
tantalizingly close.
come si chiamava?
The
Con
defense
Lupin terzo. No,
demands
Lupin
its
terzo,
right to
cazzo dico, con Lupin originale, versione Lupin del libro. Hanno usato lo stesso nickname.
Objection! Your testimony completely contradicts the facts.
Objection! My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage!
You're the best lawyer in the world.
27 luglio.
So we have 10 new cases and 8 mini escapades where you can take on the role of a defense attorney. Now, we all want to see some gameplay, right? Let's take a closer first look at 2 gameplay features new to the franchise in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles: Dance of Deduction and Summation Examination.
È molto eccitata la tizia.
Hello,
Comunque.
I'm Jonathan.
La tizia è estremamente
Brand
eccitata
manager
quando...
for Great Ace Attorney
proprio... c'ha proprio voglia.
This is the capital of Great Britain.
Where to?
The Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
The Capcom team is thrilled to present 2 new gameplay features, Dance of Deduction and Summation Examination, coming to the Ace Attorney series.
While investigating to prove your client's innocence, players will come across conspicuous situations that require further examination with the help of Ryunosuke's legal aid Susato and the brilliance of deduction from Detective Herlock.
Ok. Sì.
Herlock will proceed to present his logic and reasoning spectacular, a grandiose yet flawed series of conjectures.
Ah, beh, quindi è una cosa legata a Sherlock Holmes, come il grandissimo detective, grandissimo risolutore di casi, ti aiuta a risolvere o comunque a investigare meglio durante le fasi di investigazione, fuori dal tribunale. È figo, poi mi piace lui.
Ryunosuke and Susato will then discuss to correct the flaws in Herlock's deductions.
Ok. Quindi lui fa le deduzioni.
At this point, players will be prompted to search for clues that help identify the errors in the detective's logic and reveal the truth to the mystery.
Ok, quindi nel caso Sherlock Holmes ha fatto degli errori, o comunque per confermare la sua tesi.
As players present new evidence and observations, Herlock will amend his deductions based on the new information. Upon uncovering the truth, Ryunosuke and Herlock enter into a semi-metaphorical, semi-literal dance that brings them to the conclusion of the dance of deduction.
Ok. Vabbè, sì, è carino. Che collabori col detective per... Ok. Prometto sperato che questa è una donna. Beh, non è che non si notasse che c'avessi quei capelli, eh. Ok. Ma bella mi. Diventi. Elementare, ovviamente.
In courtroom battles, players will attempt to convince 6 jurors of the innocence of their client. Their progress will be displayed and represented by 2 scales of justice, one black, representing a guilty verdict, and one white, representing a not guilty verdict.
Objection!
In summation examination, take the stand to face off against the jurors, all of whom provide explanations as to why they've reached their guilty verdict.
Ok. Quindi queste qua sono 6 persone, diciamo 6
You'll have to identify
testimoni,
conflicting
più o
statements
meno.
and sway the jury in your favor.
Esatto.
Examine each statement carefully.
Devi
and
fargli
select
cambiare
2
idea,
contradicting jurors
sostanzialmente.
to call out the flaws in their
Contraddire
logic.
quello che dicono. Beh, contraddire si faceva sempre negli esatto.
Objection!
Esatto.
Be ready to provide evidence from the court record to help prove the contradiction in their claims.
Vabbè, questo in realtà è
If you successfully point out one of these
abbastanza...
contradictions among the jurors,
È abbastanza
they might just
simile a
change
quello che
their
si è
minds,
sempre
too.
fatto negli Saturn.
With a slam of their fist, each juror
Certo,
you
ci
persuade
sono
will
6
send a
persone
fiery
adesso da
ball towards the
dover
scales above
gestire.
and literally tip the
Ma
scales of
si è
justice
sempre
in your
fatta
favor. Bring
questa
each
cosa,
contradiction
cioè
to light,
dovevi
persuade the
contraddire
jury,
l'imputato
prove your
e
client's innocence.
mostrare delle prove in caso a valenza della tesi.
This is just
Che cazzo è
small taste
Castlevania?
of the exciting new gameplay features in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We are very excited to get this game in the hands of both new fans and diehard fans alike. Thanks for watching.
It already seems like I have a bunch of games to catch up on. There are some exciting new adventures and titles to look forward to.
Capcom se la sta davvero
That's a look at the
tirando
new
l'alto
premieres from
ultimamente.
Capcom, but what about esports? Let's close out today's showcase
Ah,
with a
esports,
few
Street
words
Fighter
from 2
5.
of the stars of Capcom Fighters, Rob TV
Capcom
and
Fighters.
Vicious. They'll tell us what's been going on
Rob
with
TV?
Capcom esports, including updates on the Capcom Pro Tour, Intel World
Conosco un
Open,
pochino io perché
Street
ogni tanto
Fighter
me li
League,
guardo queste
and all
cose.
the other content
Mi
on
piace un
Capcom
casino
Fighters.
guardare Street
Over
Fighter
to you guys.
competitivo. Ho semplicemente gente che ci sa giocare.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome
Eccoli
to the
qua, Rob
Capcom
TV e
esports
Vicious.
presentation for E3 2021. My name is Vicious, commentator for the Capcom Pro Tour as
Ma
well as Street Fighter
aspettavo,
League.
non mi aspettavo che avrebbero fatto questa parte.
And host extraordinaire, Hollywood, Rob TV. What's going on, Rob?
Oh my goodness, Vicious. Host extraordinaire. That just sounds beautiful. It has a ring to it. And I think that's the perfect word to describe what we have for everyone today. Street Fighter V, Capcom E3. It just feels right and you feel the electricity in the air.
Nice!
Nice!
What the
Oh, it's nasty. And there might be some people at home, bitches, who don't fully know what competitive Street Fighter V is. The long and the short of it is this. We travel all around the world, state to state, country to country, and we try to bring our opponent's life bar from 100 all the way down to 0 and feel pretty goddamn good doing it.
That's right, Rob. If you think you're the best in your region, sign up for Capcom Pro Tour to prove it and become possibly a world champion at Street Fighter V.
The double perfect, the way he looked at the camera.
Yikes! Don't ever expect another man's controller.
So in this year's CPC overall,
Smug è
it's a
bellissimo,
series
lo
of
amo,
tournaments that
Smug.
have $5,000 on the line for each tournament, but that money alone, that's not what's really at stake here. It's about making it to the granddaddy of them all, Capcom Cup.
La Capcom Cup che si tiene verso la fine dell'anno e quelli qualificati in tutti i vari tornei della Capcom Pro Tour partecipano per soldoni.
2021 official stage and set, and that's a place that you are
James Chen, quanto è bello James Chen.
That's right, we take all of our events and broadcast it live
Mago,
from
mamma
the
mia,
stage,
Mago.
and we check out all of the top competitors from each and every one of these regions. And speaking of, the Capcom Pro Tour has shaped up a lot. 2021, we have 32 events going on in the Capcom Pro Tour, spanning across 19
Sì, sì, è molto... la sta gestendo molto bene Capcom la questione del competitivo di Street Fighter. Ci ha puntato davvero tanto e lo sta facendo bene. Sono davvero dei bei eventi. Purtroppo per la questione del Covid si è dovuto utilizzare l'online e non è che proprio brilli tantissimo l'online di Street Fighter, però comunque si è fatto.
YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Of course, if you don't catch it live, you can also check out the VODs for all the competitive studying you would need to become a successful Street Fighter V player.
Ti puoi guardare
as well as catching some of the
tutte le cose registrate.
we have on Capcom Fighters. We have No Neutral, the official pre-show of the Capcom Pro Tour. We have sets where we take players from around the world and play.
Posso capire tranquillamente che scocci guardare questa cosa qua a una conferenza. Sono d'accordo pure. A me interessa, però a meno che non ci sia un qualche annuncio proprio interessante dal punto di vista ludico per Street Fighter, adesso è un po' non sprecare dello spazio per le conferenze normali. È importante che lo facciano, però magari potevano farlo per i fatti loro.
Look for more news on Street Fighter League later this year. It's Oki time. What's gonna happen? Nice. He checks it. He checks the movement. What's happening?
It's so good. Let's not forget, the Intel World Opening is happening right now.
World at Tokyo.
Players representing 11 regions around the world are competing for their place in the World Finals happening next month. Be sure to check out the official website for more information, including current standings and broadcast schedule.
To commemorate this event, everyone who logged in during this period will receive an exclusive competitor title and dojo object. You do not want to miss this.
I highly recommend everyone to stay
tuned
for
non è che me ne frega niente, anche che si io ci giochi, però.
On the Capcom Fighters channel.
And again, we've had so many events so far. We started off with the Japan region. We've had a couple of more events going on afterwards, but the
mi pare che c'è ancora, comunque in questo periodo è stato o è ancora.
Region for the Capcom Pro Tour. I know you're definitely excited about that.
100%. I mean, of course, your boy is.
Cioè, più che altro mi piace che Capcom stia utilizzando questo spazio perché reputa molto importante Street Fighter e tutto il lato competitivo di Street Fighter. Però le tre lo vedi per annunci. Per parlare del competitivo magari potremmo fare in un altro momento. Chiedo, vabbè, Daigo. Anche. Spero che l'Infectious prima.
That's what I'm talking about.
Minchia, là il gioco.
This is the ultimate Street Fighter V experience. This is
Knuckle Duke, Tokido. C'è il Nord America questo weekend, ok.
Thanks, guys. It's been a really exciting season so far, and I can't wait to see how this plays out on the road to Capcom Cup. Remember to check out Capcom Fighters' Twitch and YouTube channels for more information and to watch the latest matches.
Okay.
So that's a wrap for Capcom at E3 this year. Let's recap what we all saw. Resident Evil Village is back with the latest installment of the survival horror experience and RE Verse as part of the franchise's 25th anniversary. We have new adventures to embark on in the world of Monster Hunter.
Cioè, non hanno fatto vedere effettivamente nulla di nuovo. Cioè, hanno fatto vedere sì i giochi, ma che devono uscire, anche breve, o che sono usciti, con DLC possibilmente, ma assolutamente nulla di nuovo, cose che già ci sapevano.
There really is something for everyone here today. But don't go anywhere yet. Join the conversation on Twitter and make sure you check out the Capcom virtual booth on the E3 portal to watch all these videos again and more. I'm Rachel Querico, aka Seltzer. Thank you for being part of the Capcom experience at E3 this year.
Brutta roba, Capcom. Ripeto, bella roba quello che hanno mostrato, però porto. Tutta roba che hanno mostrato, tutta roba che già c'era, che non hanno già fatto vedere. Certo, magari un po' più approfondita, ma poi la pubblicità al Capcom Pro Tour, ok, quindi è durato neanche una mezz'oretta. Davvero non avete nulla da far vedere, neanche parlarne un minimo? Beh, direi che è tutto. Non me l'aspettavo. Non mi aspettavo... È pure peggio di quella di Square. A pensarci è pure peggio di quella di Square, perché alla fine Square perlomeno ha mostrato roba. Certo, un po' quello che era, un po' così, però l'ha mostrata. Roba nuova. E sorprese, in un modo o nell'altro. Qui niente, era tipo un piccolo recapone di quello che sta per uscire. Belli miei, vi facciamo vedere qualcosina in più giusto per. Non c'era neanche bisogno di fare una conferenza per una conferenza, beh, non è una conferenza, è uno showcase. Non c'era neanche bisogno di fare una cosa del genere. Brutto. Peccato.